Okay guys, I'm going to show you today how to make an animated GIF, or GIF if you prefer. So we're going to do this using the app Keynote. When you open it, if you've never used it before, yours will probably be blank here, but you are going to create a new presentation, even though it's not going to be a presentation, but you're going to create a new one using this little plus sign button right here, and then you're going to click choose a theme. There's tons to choose from, but we're just going to go basic white. And then you can delete everything on here. You can tap everything individually, but you can also hold your finger down and drag to select and then pick delete. So there's two different ways you can do this. I'm going to show you both of them. The first one is by creating a drawing and animating that drawing. So I am going to tap the plus sign right up here. I'm going to go over to the media tab, and then I am going to click drawing. So I'm just going to draw, there's, all the normal drawing tools. But you can also use this little paint bucket, and anything you draw will be automatically filled in. So that's what I'm going to use. Just get rid of these other ones. I'm going to pick my paint bucket. I can pick what color I want. And I'm going to draw just a little circle. I'm going to make this into a little, just like animated smiley face. So I'm going to go back over here to the pen. I'm going to make it black. I'm going to make some little eyeballs, a nose, and a mouth to make our horrifying little smiley face. Okay, and then I'm going to go up here to the top left and click done. And there's my smiley face. Now, I want to duplicate this because I want this to be the same base for every slide of the animation. So I'm going to tap over here on the slide, and then I am going to, sometimes the duplicate will show up, and if so, you can do that. If not, you can do copy, and then you can tap below it and click paste. So I'm going to duplicate it 5 times, and then I'm going to go back to my original, slide 1. I'm going to go back and add another drawing. And I am going to give this little guy some eyeballs inside his little eye sockets. And I'm going to give him some hair. Okay, and I'm going to click done. So this is going to be the first slide of my animation. In every single slide, he is going to have eyeballs in a different position, and his hair is going to be different. So now I'm going to click over here to slide 2. I'm going to add a drawing again. Now I'm going to make his eyes over here, and I'm going to make his hair look like this. And I'm just going to continue to do that for every slide. Okay, and then I'm going to click done. So now I have 5 slides, 5 different eye positions, and 5 different hairstyles. And even as I click through this, you can start to see my animation. So basically that's what it's going to do. It's going to save this as a file where it just clicks through it for you. So you're going to do that by going up here and clicking the circle with the 3 little dots. Then you're going to click Export, Animated GIF, and then you need to go in and you need to select slide range, because right now it is just choosing slide 5 because that's the slide I currently have selected. So you're going to click slide range, and you're going to change this from 1 to 5. That's what you want to have it set to. Or if you were doing multiple GIFs in the same presentation, then maybe you would be exporting slides 4 to 7, or whichever slides you're using for that particular GIF. But in my case right here, it is 1 to 5. So I'm going to go back to options, and then I am going to click export. And even now you can go ahead and see a preview of the little GIF. I'm going to click share, and then I'm going to save the image to my camera roll. And then if I were to go to my camera roll, I would be able to see it. It is saved on there. That is the first way that you can make a GIF, by drawing. Now you can also make a GIF, and that is the first way that you can make a GIF. Now it might be, because let's just see here. I'm going to make a new slide. I'm going to go down here to blank, and I'm going to change the background of this slide to like a nice little gradient. Okay. So here's my slide. If I were to add in that GIF that I just made, you can see that it has a white background. And it might be that you want it just to have a transparent background, so you can put it on whatever background you want it to. So you can also do that. So I'm going to go back up here to the slides that I have going on right here. So I am going to hold down with my left hand, I am going to hold down on slide 1, and then with my right hand, I am going to tap all of the other slides that I want to use. So I have all of those 5 slides selected. Then I'm going to go over here to the paintbrush tool. Anytime you want to change the way something looks, you tap the paintbrush tool. I'm going to click background, and I'm going to choose no fill. And that looks like it just gives it a black background, but what it actually does is it gives it a transparent background. So then I'm going to go here again. I'm going to once again click the circle with the 3 dots, export, animated GIF. I am again going to choose slide range 1 to 5. Even though I have a 6th slide now, I don't want that in my GIF. And then I'm going to toggle on this little switch down here that says transparent backgrounds. Then I'm going to export it, share, save image, and I'm done. So now I can go down here to this slide. I can once again go to the plus sign tab and photos or video. And it looks the same from here, but when I tap on this, it will bring it in with a transparent background. So I can put it on whatever sort of background I want to. Those are both options. Neither one is the correct one. It's just, whichever you prefer for whatever it is you're doing. Okay, so now I'm going to go and I am going to make another kind of GIF using shapes. So I'm going to add a slide at the bottom, blank slide, and I am going to choose the shapes that I want to use. So I'm doing that by tapping the plus sign. And then instead of being in the media tab, I'm going to go over here to the shapes tab. And you can see there are a ton of options. So it starts with just basic ones like, those. You've also got all of these objects, animals, nature, food, symbols, education. I mean, it just goes on and on and on. There are so many things that you can choose from for shapes. But I'm going to go here to basic. I'm going to tap a square. And I'm just going to make this square into a long little rectangle here. And I'm going to copy it. And I'm going to click out here and paste it. Then I'm going to do that again and again. So then I'm just going to kind of arrange these. Like that. And I'm going to go in and change the colors of these so you can really see them when they move. So I have selected the one I want to change. I have tapped the paintbrush tool because anytime you want to change the way something looks, you tap the paintbrush tool. And I'm just going to go in and make these different colors. I don't love the yellow that they have on here, so I'm going to click fill, color, and I'm going to choose a different color. You can also make things gradiented, you can make them images, you can do all sorts of stuff. Okay, so I have my little rectangles here. And this is going to be the first slide of my animation. Now, to move shapes, you can do something that Keynote calls magic move. So whereas with the drawing, when you clicked up here, if the eyes are in this position, next time it moves, they're in this position, next time here, next time here, next time here. And when you even play the GIF, you can kind of see them. They just kind of jump around. If you're using shapes, Keynote will try to fill in the missing animation for you. So if your rectangle is here, and then on the next slide it's here, it will try to fill in this part for you, the part where it actually moves. So we're going to do that by tapping on the slide over here and then clicking transition. Then down at the bottom, I'm going to click add transition, and I am going to click on the one that is called magic move. It's this little yellow icon. So I'm going to click on that. It has applied. It doesn't really do anything when it applies. Sometimes it'll fade to black. Sometimes it won't. It doesn't really matter. And then I'm going to click done up in the top left. It's going to ask me if I should duplicate the slide. Yes, you want to duplicate the slide because that's exactly the same thing you did when you were doing your drawing. You're just making copies of the same slide so that you can change the position. So you're going to click yes, duplicate, and then it is going to make 2 copies of the same slide. So this is my starting position, which in my case is slide number 7. It's whatever the first one is. And now I want to tell it where the rectangles need to go. So I'm going to move to the second slide of my animation. And I am just going to move these little guys around. So I have moved them around. It is going to fill in the in-between. These are actually called tweens. It is going to fill in the in-between motions for me. So I'm going to check and see how it did. So I am on the first slide. I'm going to go up here to the little play button. I'm going to tap that, and it's going to take me into presentation mode. And then I can tap to see the animation that it has created for me. And there you go. So it took them from position 1 to position 2, and it made a little animation along the way. You can also do this by changing the size and the shape of things. So I'm going to do it again. So I've already got a magic move from slide 7 to slide 8. Now I'm going to add another magic move. So I'm going to go down here. I'm going to tap on slide 8, and I'm going to click transition. Add transition, magic move, done. Ask me if I want to duplicate it. Yes, I want to duplicate it. And then I have another starting slide. So I'm going to go here. I'm on where I want them to end. And I'm going to make them all just like back into like kind of squares, or at least thicker rectangles. So I'm going to go like that. Okay. So now I can go back up here to slide 7. I can tap on play. First, there's this animation where they move. And then second, there's this animation where they transform what size and shape they are. You could do a whole lot more with this. You can do rotating, all sorts of different stuff. But the main thing to keep in mind is you're going to have one slide and you're going to have one move. So from this slide to this slide, there is one move. From this slide to this slide, there is one move. You can't like make this change into a circle and then into a square. Like you have to just do one thing at a time. So as many steps as that animation has, that's how many slides you will have. So if you wanted something, like let's say I wanted this rectangle to move from here to here, but I wanted it to go up, then down. Then I would create 3 slides, one with it in this position, one with it in this position, and one with it in this position. So that way when I hit play, it would go here to here, and then from here to here. So you can't just drag it. It's not going to follow like where you're actually dragging it. It's just going to see it's in one position, it's in another position, what's the fastest way to get it there, and that's how it's going to move it. So every step of your animation, you're going to have a different slide for that. And then you're going to export these in the exact same way, going to your circle with the 3 dots, export, animated GIF. Here you're going to export, the slides I used were from slide 7 to slide 9. And then I would click export, and then I would have my little GIF here. It's really just as simple as that. You just have to think through, what is the process of my animation? Where is it going to start? Where is it going to end? Are there going to be any steps along the way that I need to take care of? And then you're just going to change the slides along the way. If you're doing a drawing, it's just going to be a jump from one slide to the next. If you're using shapes, then you'll use Magic Move to smooth out those transitions. But either way, it's a relatively simple process. But if you have any questions or you don't understand any of it, please let me know and I'll be happy to help you.